guys, it's Felicia Z, and it's October, so Halloween is right around the corner, and I have a treat for you. On today's segment, I'm going to share with you my pumpkin cake recipe. We're going to start by preheating the oven at 350 degrees, and you're going to grease and line your pan with parchment paper, and let's go over our ingredients. You'll need light brown sugar, an egg. If you're making a larger batch, you'll need 2 eggs, shortening and butter, baking powder, baking soda, pumpkin puree, the spices, that's all on your ingredient list, salt, vanilla extract, and milk. Oh, and of course the flour. I forgot the flour. Here you go, guys, flour. All right, now let's start with the mixing. Let's pour all our dry ingredients into a bowl. So there's the spices, the salt, baking powder, baking soda, put all that goodness in there. Okay. And we're going to mix this very well. You want everything well incorporated. This way you have a nice fluffy cake. You want all the particles separated and all of your ingredients dispersed equally. That's why we're doing this, okay? Put a little TLC into your baking. All right, beautiful. Now let's sift it onto parchment paper. And if you have anything left over, just push it through if you can. If not, then just put it aside. I'm using a KitchenAid mixer, and I went ahead and put all my butter in the bowl. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer, that's fine. You could use a handheld mixer. Just pay attention to the settings. You don't want to overmix when you're putting in the wet and dry ingredients. And of course, you have to make sure that you cream the butter, shortening, and sugar very well before you add the dry and wet ingredients, okay? So now let's go ahead and put in the light brown sugar. But before we do that, let's turn this on and let the shortening and butter incorporate. Just speed it up a little. Now just drizzle in the light brown sugar. If you're using a handheld mixer, you could pour it in all at once. Not a problem. But I like to take my time when it comes to adding in the sugar. Remember, baking is all about patience. And TLC. Don't forget TLC. I did mention that earlier. You speed it up just a tad bit. Drape our bowl before we put it on a high setting. Want to make sure everything is there. Okay, now we're going to turn this on for about, I would say, 4 to 5 minutes on high, and we're going to let it cream. Yeah! You hear that engine rev? That means it's working. Okay, it's about 4 minutes in, and now let's just check out our mixture. Perfect. You notice that the color has lightened a bit, and this is because of all the air that was incorporated into the mixture. If you're making a larger batch, you're going to let this go for about 8 to 10 minutes. But because I'm making this for 2 6-inch cakes, it's going to be one of those cute mini cakes. 4 minutes, 5 minutes is more than enough. Okay, so this looks good to me. Now I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. This is something I should have done earlier. I like to scramble the egg and drizzle it in. Now, if you're using a handheld mixer, you can't do that, so you could just pour it in after you scramble it. Keep this on low speed. Take your time, make sure it's well incorporated into the batter. You don't want to hurry. You're going to have to stop in between and scrape down the bowl as well. Now add your vanilla extract, the pumpkin puree. Go in there, go in there, all that goodness. Turn this back on. Turn it on slow, you don't want anything splattering in your face, and then just gradually speed it up. That's the first batch of the dry ingredients. Remember, do not overmix. If you're using a handheld mixer, keep it on a low setting, okay? I think that's enough. Let's just go ahead and scrape down the sides, the bottom. Okay. Turn it on and pour just half the milk. Okay. Scrape, scrape, scrape. You're gonna hate hearing that word by the end of this segment. Add in the dry. Turn it on slowly. Looks good. Turn it back on and we'll pour the remainder of the milk in there. Stop that and add the remainder of the dry ingredients. I think my hand just hit the camera. That's why I like parchment paper. Last batch goes in nice and easy. Okay. Slow and steady. I'm going to stop here real quick and scrape it down. Alright, this looks good to me. Now let's divide this equally between our pans. Make sure the pan or the pans are located on the center rack and leave enough space in between for circulation. And cakes out of the oven about 3 minutes ago, and if you notice they're pulling away from the pan, which is just fine. That's because I use the shortening. You're gonna let them sit on the rack for about 15 minutes, and then you're gonna invert it and let it completely cool down before you frost them.